Thank the member from Oshawa. Further, the member from Northumberland, Quinte West.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, Donna, David, Kathy, family and friends of Hugh O'Neill. And by the sheer numbers here today, I'm not sure who's left at home minding the place, but thank you for being here. It is truly a bittersweet occasion for me that I have the opportunity to stand in this place, in this chamber, where our friend and former colleague, the Honourable Hugh O'Neill, served the people of Quinte and indeed Ontario with distinction and honour. To be able to speak of his legacy with a tribute to almost 20 years in public life, Speaker. I would speak to you on a regular basis. Sometimes it wasn't by my own choice, Speaker. I normally used to call him for some advice on issues facing not just the Quinte region, but Eastern Ontario and Ontario, Speaker. He called me just as often, Speaker, usually with the phrase when I picked up the phone, "What the heck are you doing, Rinaldi?" And he set me straight pretty quick, Speaker. He didn't hold back. He was a huge advocate for his community, something I strive to live up to each and every day. Speaker, I remember vividly, it was on a Monday evening that you had called me. Somehow I didn't get his call, and I returned his call around 9, 10 o'clock that night. And yes, he wanted to talk to me about Trent Memorial Hospital, Speaker. Speaker, I believe I was the last person to speak to you besides Donna on that evening. I went to sleep that evening after spending, I would say, about an hour with you, Donna, if I remember correctly. And I was just heading to the office the next morning when I got a phone call from the local media asking me for a comment on the death of Hugh O'Neill. I was shocked. It was about 7 o'clock that morning. I really thought it was some sort of a prank, and I didn't take very lightly to it, to the reporter. Definitely not a funny one. I asked the reporter if they had their facts correct, because I just talked to you just a few hours prior, Speaker. Hugh began his career as an educator, as you heard. He spent time working in real estate and was an active member of the Trent Kiwanis Club, an honourable member of the Royal Canadian Legion, an honourable member of the Lions Club, an honourable member of the Kinsman Club, and member of the Knights of Columbus, Speaker. His political career began in 1975, winning the Quinte seat as a Liberal MPP. And frankly, none of his friends or supporters kept on telling me that it was crazy. It would never happen. But it happened, Speaker. You spent the next 20 years, or 6 terms, from the 30th to the 35th Parliament, representing the constituents of Quinte and really all of Ontario, Speaker, sitting on many standing committees and serving on cabinet in ministries of industry, trade, technology, tourism and recreation, culture and communication, and Minister of Mines, Speaker. In 1979, he held the government of the day accountable for the needs for pension reform. Do you hear that? Pension reform. And gender equality for pay in the workforce. He understood that people should be able to afford to retire after working their whole life. And guess what, Speaker? 37 years, we're having the same debate today. I remember you sharing with me one of his greatest memories, which there were many, of his time in office as Minister of Tourism and Recreation. We had the opportunity to travel to Seoul, South Korea, to cheer on 169 Ontario athletes that were part of the Canadian team. He beamed with pride as he spoke of getting to watch Lennox Lewis be the first Canadian boxer to win gold in the super heavyweight category, and many other moments as well. When he returned home, he addressed the legislature and recounted that experience, being there with the athletes to celebrate and to while they're playing O Canada, Speaker. During his time in office, he had the distinct pleasure, as we do today, to serve alongside long-time actively serving members, like the member from St. Catharines, the member from York Centre, Ottawa, West Nepean, Hamilton, Wellington, Halton Hills, Timmins, James Bay, and Simcoe Gray. And I'm sure that you'll have lots of memories of Jim, of you. Your most admirable asset was that as every successful politician, he was able to work collaboratively with members of all political stripe for the betterment of his community, including when he worked with the opposition government to rehabilitate Highway 33 just north of Trenton. Since his retirement in 1995, you continue his hard work for the community. Supporting his passion for the arts, he serves the Ontario Arts Council and the Ontario Arts Foundation. Now, each year, the Quinte Arts Council awards 2 U.P. O'Neill Student Arts Bursaries, one each for the public and Catholic school boards serving the Quinte region. He also proudly served as Vice Chairman of the Ontario Trillium Foundation. In 2013, you and former Mayor of Quinte West, John Williams, that's here with us today, were recognized by the Canadian Forces and awarded the Canadian Forces Medallion of Distinguished Service. The medallion is the military highest level recognition for civil service for their involvement in spearheading the Afghan memorial repatriation. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, life is short. We need to remember to embrace the good times and special people in our lives. You was one of those special persons. He was my friend, my mentor, someone who I admire immensely and held to the highest esteem. You loved this community, but loved his family even more. Donna was the love of his life, and sometimes I think she was the MPP Speaker. He was extremely proud of David and Catherine, valued above all else the time he spent with his grandkids, and he talked about that. So, Speaker, in behalf of us, all of us here today, I would like to thank Donna, his family, for sharing you with us, not only for the Quinte region, but for all of Ontario. And the province and the Quinte region is a better place to be today because of you. So, Speaker, I'm going to take the indulgence, and I know I'm probably going to break some rules, and I hope that you give me some leeway, same with Sergeant of Arms. But I want to propose a toast to you, O'Neill, his most favorite drink, Speaker. A glass of ice, Speaker. I know you're not looking. And you, this is for you. Cheers.